Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be each and every Sunday night, where tonight we are coming from the great Scottish circuit of Knockhill, where we are about to kick off quali for our second venture here. We've got a massive field, massively rated field here, only 14 drivers because of the way the dice rolled with the numbers, but a massive soft 54-61. I'm Alex McKellar. Joining me as always is the chaotic one himself, Corey Steinhauser. Corey, mate, this should be one for the books.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. We have some of the top-rated drivers in this race. We've got two 7K drivers, we've got two 6K drivers, a whole bunch of guys with 5K I rating, and a couple of them with 4K. You needed a 45.96 to get into the race tonight, so we definitely have all the top drivers here. But I'm just looking at this racetrack, Alex, and I'm just thinking, a little bit of visibility might come into play with the way things are looking on track right now.
Yeah, 100%. It could be interesting. So we're missing a couple of our favourites. They haven't hit the track yet, so we'll start going through our drivers from car number 3. We'll grab our leading couple shortly. Oh, Devanti's come out. We'll start with the cowboy there. There he is. Speedy Snails driver, Sam Devanti, a car plated number 1 out here tonight. And a guy hasn't hit the track yet, so we can't grab a shot of him. Adam Miles is number 2, or number 3, I should say. From UK and I Club, and Miles Ahead Racing. Skip Barber Community Rep, of course. Naoya Nagai, the great Japanese king of quali. He's back again. His car number 2 here tonight. Number 4, Adrian Farinas Rodriguez from Iberia, of course. His Astro Team Racing as well. Put on that stunning performance at the Roval earlier this season, literally driving through the field from last to finish second behind his teammate who isn't here tonight, Christian Perez. Hikaru Sasaki, car number 5 here as the times start to come in. Sasaki actually sitting second, I beg your pardon, in the official series standings overall, showing that he's one to watch in this field as well. Debutante tonight from what I think is a Chinese driver, Yuanji Lin is how I'm going to say that. Lin we'll stick with because I can pronounce that. Sorry if I'm getting that wrong. His car plated number 6. Second ANZ driver in the field tonight, Brett McBurney, joins us from McFlabby Racing once again. Car number 9 here, the head clown himself, Vasco Sorowski for Team Clowns. He is back, and our 10th rated driver here tonight. Just our last one over the 5K mark is Loris Amadio for Wave Italy Racing, Corey.
And then coming up in our 11th plated car, we have Mr. Martin Booker from the UK and I Club. Similarly from UK and I, Nick Vaughan Roberts in our 12th plated car. We've got Stefan Frista from DEATCH in the 13th plated car, and I think this might be a debut for him as well, Alex. And then Jochen Osbeck from Scandinavia is a 14th plated car. I haven't seen Jochen in a while, Alex. Great to see him back on track.
Yeah, 100% race with him during the week. Had a bit of a tussle in that one. And yeah, it was good racing, good hard racing. Great to see Vaughan Roberts and Booker back on track after both missing out on the top split last week, if you can believe it. That massive field. Oh, second strongest strength of field in history is Vaughan Roberts for Two Falls Racing, doing everything to get his... Oh, it's his third lap, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, it's his second because of the where the start-finish line is. As Miles chucks it on the second row provisionally. What's Vaughan Roberts got for us? But both Vaughan Roberts and Booker missed out last week. Booker put it on pole in the second split in a time that would have put him on the second row in the 5,700 strength of field, as Vaughan Roberts shows us what he thought of that lap, Corey.
Yeah, there's definitely a few guys that have got a little bit of feeling about how their qualifying runs have gone. And we've got all 14 cars who have put in at least one lap. I think the last couple who haven't put in a second lap have ditched their laps. So got a little bit of waiting around to do right now, Alex.
Yeah, it's the nature of the short track. Frista, the last one, actually out on track. And I believe this is still a live lap for him. as he rounds the penultimate corner now up over the crest. Of course, we're in the reverse layout here tonight. That's normally turn 1 that the 13's just gone through Frister. What sort of lap time has he got for us as he crosses the line now? Did he manage to improve? No, I don't think he did. He's about a second. So the entire field there, as you can see from the timing screen at the moment, with the exception of Frister on debut, separated by 0.6 of a second, Corey. That's how tight it is. That's how tight we can expect the racing to be around here tonight. That's incredible.
Oh, absolutely, Alex, and that's the nature of the short tracks, as you were saying just before. It's very, very small margins when you get to such a short track. You know, it's tenths of a second for the most part, sometimes hundredths of a second that separates some of these drivers. So it's all about how you make your passes. There is a couple of drafting opportunities, but they're not very big. So you really have to rely on your skill and the pressure to pass to try and make moves through this field.
Yeah, 100%. The interesting thing, there's 2 passing opportunities. Turn 1, absolutely the primary passing opportunities. We see Frister on his cool down lap show us exactly where that is on circuit. If you are brave enough, and I mean if, and or perhaps desperate enough, you can have a look through the corner after this, down the hill a bit. And it's a left-hander. It's sort of off camber and pretty sketchy, just quietly. There's been a few moves made here during the week, or made there here during the week, and yeah, some that have been regretted, I would admit. And then finally at the bottom of the ski jump style chicane in the middle sector, the left-hander before the run up to the line, is probably where, yeah, it's a tertiary at best passing opportunity, Corey. So I expect that we'll have a fair bit of action, particularly at turn 1 tonight.
Well, we can only hope, Alex, especially with how big of a braking zone it's going to be. And we've also had clarification from the chat. The 6-plated car is 1C. 1C Lin.
1C Lin. Well, I'm going to go with Lin, and we'll thank you for the clarification. We'll try and stick with the surnames for tonight, and Lin's probably our safest bet. What do you reckon, Corey?
Oh, absolutely, but you know, I'll still try and throw it in there every now and then, just because I like saying weird names. But you know. It's going to be an exciting race, Alex. I'm really looking forward to how this is going to turn out, as we've got about 20 seconds left here in qualifying before it rolls over. You know, I'm expecting a lot of drama into turn 1, and maybe actually a little bit coming out of turn 6, Butchers, you know, the end of that chicane. I just reckon, you know, especially on cold tyres, these guys are going to be getting a little bit unsettled.
Yeah, quite potentially, mate. The elevation changes here will bring a lot to this race, but again, like I say, expect to see a fair bit happening at turn 1. Let's take a look at our grid though as the clock strikes done. Hikaru Sasaki makes an all Japanese front row with his partner in crime Naoya Nagai running 1-2, once again showing not only the pace of the 2 drivers, but that the Japanese team or the Japanese club have really worked hard on their qualifying. And incredibly, I've raced a couple of times with Sasaki this week. He has got some pace, but he's put a full 10th on the former king of quali, Naoya Nagai. Seb Schultz joins us once again, probably for the 3rd time this season. He was just that 2 1,000ths off the front row, starting in 3rd out of miles for miles ahead racing, not far behind, a half-tenth behind, locks out the 2nd row. Sam Devantier for Speedy Snails. He's the leading AZ driver, starts out at P5 tonight. Adrian Rodriguez shown he can move through the field. Lot less distance to travel to get to the front for Rodriguez here tonight, starting 6th. Martin Booker back in the top split for Fungus Turret Racing. He's starting from 7th, just ahead of the 2nd ANZ driver for Team Clowns, Vasco Sorowski, out of 8th. Out of 9th tonight, Nick Vaughan Roberts for Two Fools Racing, again back in the top split. Similarly for Joachim Osbeck from Scandinavia, who starts 10th. 1C Ling, I'm sorry if I butchered it again, for China. He's out of 11th, just ahead of the 3rd ANZ driver in the field for McFlabby Racing, Brett McBurney, who starts in 12th. 2 more drivers join us. One from Wave Italy Racing, Loris Amadio starting 13th, and Stefan Frister, as we saw, making his debut. The only driver outside the second range of pole, and he's starting all the way down in 14th tonight. Corey, 27 laps ahead of us. Who's your pick?
Oh, I think it's a little bit early to pick right now. I'd imagine Sandra Banshee has probably done quite a few laps around here, but I reckon it's going to come from either the guy or Schultz as the red lights start going and the engines are revving. And we're now off and racing here for round number 7, season 27, Sunday Night Lights. And we are off and racing down into the very tight turn number 1, Alex.
Yeah, Sasaki immediately. Oh, I thought he was going to take a defensive line. Not defensive enough as Nagai comes across. They've got it sorted. What about further back? 2 by 2 they go. The downhill run on the exit of turn 1 sees no disasters at this stage, which is great for this one. A few of the drivers taking the more defensive line down the hill towards Clark. This challenging, you see off camber downhill left-hander presented to the drivers. Before then they hit the chicane here. You're trying to essentially straight line it, but it is such a risky business through there, Corey. Let me tell you, if you're sort of half a car width either side of the ideal racing line, it is, oh, it's tragedy just waiting out to jump up and grab you each time you go through there. Oh, very wide there is the 8-plated Seb Schultz. Almost looked like he was going to duck into the pits there, Corey.
Oh, he just about did, Alex. As I saw Nagai-san going very, very defensive, going along the front straight. As everyone gets through turn number 1 nice and cleanly again. We still have all 14 cars on track. And everyone's separated by about 5 seconds at the minute, Alex. And, I reckon they're probably going to start dropping off a little bit here. Like some of these people at the back.
Oof.
As, I'm looking at San Devantia stuck in the middle. He's going to have a hard time trying to make his way through this field, Alex.
Already we've seen, yeah, you're right. Already we saw 2 by 2 there. Pardon my, in the background there. I saw Miles and Rodriguez side by side through that challenging corner at Clark that we talked about earlier. It's after the railway straight because we're in the reverse layout, of course. Clark. Oh, as again, Seb Schultz looking to show the nose down the inside. No, just ward off the attacks from behind. As attack from behind, the Cowboys under attack. Booker going up the inside, side by side on exit. Cowboy will have the better drive out of the corner. The question is, will they go 2 by 2 into Clark this time round? No, Booker, discretion, the better part of valor this time round, and pulls back in behind. Like I said, the drive on the outside can often be better there, Corey, and that's saved Evangel on this time round.
Absolutely, Alex. There's a little bit of camber. And just becomes that little bit deeper towards the end of turn 1. It's mostly to help people turn in there when we're going the normal way around this track. And, San Devantia definitely used that to his advantage. Plus, considering the railway straight has a pretty large right-handed kink in it, definitely helped Sam Devantia to maintain position. As we're now already 3 laps into the books, Alex. And, this race could tick away very quickly as up towards the front. Schultz and the guy still battling away furiously as Schultz now goes to the outside of turn 1.
Oh, yeah, it's very interesting. Oh, there's a big one out the back. Oh, I think it's Joachim Osbeck involved. Let's go take a look. Osbeck. Oh, yeah, McBurney's just speared him into that corner. Let's go back and have a look at again. A bit slower this time round. See if we can't get a look. McBurney comes up the inside, breaks deep. It's the 14 of Osbeck that we're looking at here. McBurney's made the move on the 6. Osbeck does not know he's there. And, yeah, that's just a fraction clumsy, I'd have to say. Well, it's difficult, though, on both of them there. I mean, McBurney's making the move on the 6 in Lynn on debut. And... yeah, I mean, Osbeck's essentially an innocent bystander there, and unfortunately it's come unstuck for him and Lynn, which is a real shame. They're both sitting off the back, about 10 seconds off the group in front.
Yeah, that's right, Alex, and it's a tragedy to see. But we've also had a change position at front. Seb Schultz moved up into the second position with that move that he made around the outside of Nagai-san. So, moves can be made. Just got to pick and choose where to make them around here.
Yeah, look, there's very few opportunities. Although, when you think about it, there's 27 of them at turn one each lap. There's quite a number of laps around here, so there won't be much of a shortage there as Nagai goes straight away defensive on Rodriguez, who's made the move on Devantiaz as Miles by the looks. Devantiaz down one. Oh, yeah, that was too close. I think Rodriguez really squeezed Nagai there, and he's come off second best for sure. Let's go take another look at that. It really looked to me like he squeezed him, just didn't give him the room he needed to come through. So he starts wide. You see Nagai on the inside. He's always going to be cramped for room. But they are legit side by side there. It's very, very tight, and look, I've got to tell you, I don't know that the guy's done much wrong there, and it's probably just a bit of spatial awareness for Rodriguez, and he's paid the price. Doesn't look like he's carrying any damage, so I imagine he'll be working hard to find his way back up towards the right end of the field later in the race. Corey, as we jump back to live pictures, the guy's gone. The guy's in the pits. What do we miss?
I was just about to say that, Alex. It seemed that the damage to the guy's car from that incident may have damaged his suspension a little bit, and he's gone for a run through the pits. And that, unfortunately, is going to ruin the guy's night here, as that means that San Devantia, out of nowhere, has gotten back around Nick Vaughan Roberts and moved his way up into the third position. But there's also a huge gap between Devantia and Schultz in P2, Alex.
Yeah, look, massive. Those, look at that. Devanti's leading a as Miles hangs it out through the back of the McIntyre there. It was remarkable. But yeah, Devantia leading this train here. But the front two of Schultz and Sasaki, they are gone. Let's just see what action we got here first before we look at that front pair. Devantia, previous race, was locking up the front inside quite a bit. He ran quite deep on exit there as well. Could put him under threat. The ones I reckon I'm keen to watch here, Vaughan Roberts and Booker in this pack, they missed out on the top split last week. The bumper top split. They had all the pace to make a difference there, but not the opportunity given they were bumped to the second split. Soroski, the other ANZ hope in this front pack, well, it's not the front pack when you consider it off the back, vying for third overall. Look for him to move forward. Now, I want to return up the front here. Sasaki and Schultz did a race with them last night, and these two, look at Schultz there. Wow, he's faking the old Pittaroonie. These two ran away with it, so they're not unfamiliar with how they race together and how they work together in a big field, in a big race. So I don't expect them to be headed, and really it's this pack here fighting for third, currently led by the Cowboy, who I expect us to see action unfolding.
Absolutely, Alex. I'm expecting at least one or two more dust-ups from this second pack. As these guys are the ones who are fighting so furiously to try and get on the bottom step of that podium. And Devantia is holding off Miles for now. We know Miles and Vaughan Roberts in particular are very, very aggressive drivers. You can see Vaughan Roberts just taking slightly different lines into every single corner compared to Miles, trying to just look for some kind of an advantage to sneak that nose up on the inside.
Yeah, interesting. Miles, I wonder if Vaughan Roberts has a look here into turn one. He's sort of... Oh, no, Miles takes the defensive line, but he's attacking to defend. Beautiful braking there from Miles. Gets it done. I'm sure Devantia lifted a little bit because the gap between he and Vaughan Roberts, who was leapfrogged, or as Devantia was leapfrogged, and Devantia is focused on the exit because you can see the gap between he and Vaughan Roberts opened up the railway straight. Beautiful move from Miles there, though. Disguised it well, made the move late, and made it stick. Beautiful run through the chicane there by this pack, Corey. See how the skippies, for the first time this season, getting legitimate air as they run through some of these corners.
Oh yeah, it's definitely because of the size of some of these curbs, especially through the chicane there, turns 4 and 5. That thing is a actual jump for these poor little cars. And it's amazing that the suspension can take it at all. But these guys know what they're doing. These guys are the top of what we've got available. And, they're definitely showing us how it's done around here. And it just goes to show, they don't need any tyres on the road to put on some great racing.
Yeah, I think Rodriguez has had a bit more of an adventure. Oh my gosh. Oh dear. And lost his rear wing to boot. Doing a bit of four-wheel driving. No trailer attached, but perhaps looking for a camp spot for later on, unfortunately, for the Team Astro driver. So we jump back up, check in on our leaders, and it's Sasaki. The dress rehearsal last night in the Japanese strength of field race, the skipjack, 10 p.m. Japanese time or 9 p.m. Australian time on a Saturday night. You can go and get a good race there. And this was the running order last night as well. Sasaki and Schultz. They've, like I said, they've rehearsed this. Now, it's Miles. Again, as much as I want to see Cowboy get a good result, geez, I'd like to back Miles in for a good result. He's had some terrible luck in SNL races, and tonight he's sitting in third. He's on the front of this chasing pack, Corey. Geez, I hope he gets a good one.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. His bad luck streak is longer than my bottom split streak. And, I just hope that he has a good result here. Like, just doesn't get involved in a crash whatsoever. Kind of, because that just seems to be his status quo at the moment. And we don't want that to happen. As, everyone taking all the track there on the front straight this time. Trying to get as close to that pit lane entrance as they can without hitting the wall. And in behind them, Nick Vaughan Roberts with a very easy move on the Cowboy on the front straight, Alex.
Yeah, interesting there. Cowboy didn't defend that at all. Devantia just letting Vaughan Roberts through. Vaughan Roberts, didn't take much to set that up. He got the run out of the final corner, a doofus dip. Although it's not really a dip when you're going the other way, is it? It's more of a doofus, I don't know, crest.
The doofus rise?
Yeah, the doofus rise, the doofus crest, something like that. But it's called the final corner. Look at them sideways over that first apex of that. I love it. I feel like it's a ski jump. I say I love it. I love watching it. Driving it is taking your life into your own hands each and every time. But these guys flying around here at the moment. Vaughan Roberts set his fastest lap. Not fastest lap of the race, but a 53.8. 53.7 last lap. The leader did a 54 dead this time round. 53.9 for Miles in clean air. So he's the fastest man on track at the moment, getting it done. Swarovski similarly with a 53.9. 53.7 for Rodriguez, but not clean. So he's obviously got pace to burn out there, Corey. He's just got nowhere to use it now with a couple of incidents costing them dearly.
That's exactly right, Alex. And Rodriguez actually has the fastest clean lap of the race too, a 53.67 is his fastest time. And he's, as you said, he's absolutely got the pace. He's going faster than what Adam Miles is at the moment. But yeah, he just hasn't got the space or at the moment, the time to get through it. Because we're just about halfway through this race with 14 laps in the books. Only 13 laps left to go, Alex.
Yeah, interestingly, it's only a couple of drivers in the top 10 not in the 53s. And I was about to say, one of them was our leader, Hikaru Sasaki. Sasaki, though, that time round put in a 53.9 to crack into the 53s for the first time. The irony was significant and not lost on me there. Farina's now setting the fastest lap of the race in clean air. Very clean air because he hasn't got a rear wing with a 53.6. Yeah. Anyone looking to buy a second-hand Skippy? I think there's one with a purple livery. Might go a bit cheap after this one, but let's go check back in that second pack. It's still led by Miles, Vaughan Roberts and Devantia. Swarovski's moved ahead of Booker, meaning we've got two ANZ drivers line astern. I'm wondering if something happened to Booker. Let's go back and check out the pass that took place. No, it's a regulation pass into turn one. So, that nearly ended up the guy. It was the Lynn and the Osbeck moment earlier on. They just managed to make it stick there though that time round. As we now will cut back to live pictures, I noticed that McBurney and Osbeck are now in a battle. Briefly, Osbeck was in front, and I actually wonder if McBurney might have redressed that earlier incident, Corey, and then felt free to battle. As battle they do, side by side in a Clark this time round. McBurney backs off. and that angry-looking Hornet mobile lives to fight another day this time round.
That's exactly right, Alex. And I do believe he would have redressed McBurney. As dangerous as he can sometimes be, is also pretty respected when it comes out there to racing. So he probably would have redressed that absolutely. And now he's just trying to battle his way back through the field a little bit. He comes in as a seventh plated car here tonight, and he's not doing it justice at the moment, being down in 12th. But he's going to be trying to use his aggression to work his way back up through the field.
Yeah, I know. I've talked to Brett in recent weeks. He's working really hard on being able to put together a race. He's always had the pace. He had that brilliant result earlier this season at the track, the Barber. Sorry, he had that brilliant race at Barber. That brilliant result. It'd be great to see him to go back to back and be able to put together a few and really be up there. He can get into these races, no problem. I'd love to see him up near the front. Speaking of up near the front, Schultz now right on the tail of Sasaki, sets the fastest lap this time round with a 53.6. They are between 1 and 3 tenths, depending on how you look at it. It's probably 1 tenth quicker than this chasing pack led by Adam Miles, with Vaughan Roberts, Devantia Sorosky and Booker in tow. Booker now falling a little bit off the back. He's a second off the back of this group. Very tough to claw that back. There's not the same level of compression in the corners here, which can normally bring a driver on the edge of draft back in. This track actually flows incredibly well for a tight, twisty track. And it's really, it's an awkward flow, but it is a legitimate flow to this track that's only punctuated by the heavy braking, the really solid heavy threshold braking into turn one, Corey.
That's exactly right, Alex. And that's something that I noticed when we were running the circuit here last season when we were going the normal way around. That, besides the turn one tailors, this is a really flowing track, and you've got to be able to stitch it all together just right, achieve really quick lap times. And that's something that I learned towards the end of the 3 or 4 races that I did during that week. It's definitely something that's going to take some people some time to master, as it looks like these guys, for the most part, are getting it done here tonight, Alex.
Yeah, they are. I can't see Sorosky, the attitude of the rear of the car as he goes through the chicane there is excellent. He lands it through Butchers on through up now over Doofus Dip. And these guys once again charging hard. I'm surprised Devante's very patient, I know, but with 7 laps to go as they cross the line to start lap 20, he's going to want to start moving forward lest he gets stuck where he is, because where he is P5, and surprisingly, Corey, how's that? He's car number 1. It's a, what do we say, a 5,400 strength of field, and he's losing I rating in P5. That's how good the guy's going in terms of his own I rating, Corey, but that's a scary thought, isn't it?
It absolutely is, Alex, but that, brings back the argument of when we used to have Benny Simonson racing with us, and he used to be over 1,000 I rating above the number 2 plated car. He would finish worse than 3rd, and he would lose I rating. So Santovich is experiencing what that's like right now. He says that I rating doesn't really matter to him anymore. He's just going out there to try and get wins. And, that's still very respectable as, if he wants to try and get this win, at least the podium, he's still going to have to work very hard to get around Vaughan Roberts and Miles.
Yeah, it looks like he's moving a bit closer this time round. Does he show the nose? No, he doesn't. Line astern, they stay. Checking in with our leaders. It's still Sasaki who is leading this one. I commend him on his choice of green liveries. Of course, top split racing, we love our green. And he is leading it from the front, as we say here on a Sunday night, ahead of Seb Schultz. I'm wondering if what Schultz has got up his sleeve this time round to reverse the finishing order, although he's dropped back a bit. He's now 7 tenths off the leader and at risk of being dropped. And dare I say, would he fall into the clutches of this hard charging pack led by Adam Miles? If he did get dropped, Corey, he's about 7 tenths. It's dropping a little bit in the draft now into turn 1, but I tell you, the eyes will be lighting up at this trailing pack led by Miles, Corey.
Something that I have actually noticed, Alex, is that this second pack, to their credit, has been slowly and surely creeping up towards Seb Schultz. At one point, it was out to about 2.5 seconds, and they brought it back to about 1.8 seconds right now. So, this second pack, because of how calmly they've been driving with each other, they haven't really been trying to battle or anything. They've just let Miles lead it and, run away with the lead on it. These guys have been slowly but surely catching up to these front two. And, I think by the end of this, we could see a 6-car battle pack.
Yeah, potentially. It's back out close to 2 seconds, but Miles set the fastest lap last time round. Clean Air 53.8 as opposed to the Sasaki's 53.9. Only just under a tenth in it. But that's the difference you got to watch, right? It's the lead driver of the second pack to the lead driver of the front pack. Miles perhaps let the rear go a little bit loose there, maybe cost himself some time. It's not only the primary passing opportunity, but it leads on to another very long straight here, so it's a very, very important corner there at turn 2. At turn 1, I should say. This is turn 2 here. Look, and he's a bit wide of the apex there. He's starting to feel the pressure, Corey, with about 4 to go. Miles now, he's in a very strong position. He's been in these kind of positions before, and they're back down to 1.8 seconds, 1.7 and a bit, 1.7 and change. Oh, I tell you, if he keeps this up, we might be very close to gobbling up Seb Schultz, if not one pack.
That's exactly right, Alex, and that's what the hope is going to be as we continue on in this race. As it looks like they gained 2/10 on our leaders that time by. But these guys definitely charging pretty hard. Steve Vaughan Roberts now just stepping out of the draft ever so slightly. He doesn't want to put too much pressure on Miles as of yet. He wants to save that for maybe the later couple of laps. As, it's all about the tactics. And we started talking about it a little bit this season, Alex, but the non-verbal communication that these drivers are displaying right now. Because I've got the radios turned on and I haven't heard anyone say a single word.
Yeah, that's it. I watched the 4 cars in that second pack, and the one who's pushing the hardest, I think, is actually Sorosky on the back, judging by the angle, the attack angle of his car through the chicane there. I don't know if that's indicating that he's wanting to push forward or he's struggling to hang on the back there. You can see that gap opened up as Devantier now. Is he thinking about moving forward? They've only got 3 laps to go. He's going to need to move forward if he's going to do anything. They're down inside 1.6. I don't think they've got the pace to catch the front two. Schultz and Sasaki, I think it is, as it has been for a while, theirs to lose. A 53.6 deep in the pack from Rodriguez sees the fastest lap fall once again. Oh, look at them in the rear there. Vaughan Roberts lets it all hang out. Devantier's got nowhere to go because, as I said during the week, it's fool's folly. I think I said... to go 2x2 through that chicane, and we know these guys are no fools. So I take that back. Vaughan Roberts is full. He races for 2 Fools Racing, so there's at least a couple of fools and one in this race apparently. Now what's he got? Vaughan Roberts, surely he's got to look here with 2 to go. He hasn't. Devantier hasn't either. They can't. I mean, Devantier can't make 2 in the last lap. At best he's got 4th, Corey. That's assuming Vaughan Roberts doesn't go hard at Miles. What do you reckon?
Well, see, this is where it's all going to come down to, Alex, is these last couple of laps. And we could maybe see Sam Devantier waiting for the possibility of these guys making contact as Vaughan Roberts took all of the inside curb that time, going through Clark, all 4 wheels up in the air. These guys are hitting every single curb as hard as they can right now to make sure that they hit those apexes just right.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it is too late for the second pack, I believe. Oh, look, Schultz all over the back of Sasaki. This is the pivotal moment in the race. Here it is. Sasaki moves to take the defensive line. You can get it done around the outside here. You need to break a little bit deeper. There's defense going on behind as well. Around the outside. What's the second pack got? They're line astern in the second pack. Sasaki's got the drive out on the inside line, but they will be side by side. They will go side by side through Clark this time round. I guarantee it. That little right-hand kink's given the advantage to Schultz. He's run very wide there to leave the space. Sasaki's got the inside run and come through okay. It's Sasaki's race to lose. Schultz all over the back of him. He will still not go 2x2. Oh, they've given it everything there through the chicane. 2 corners to go now. Or 3, I should say. Out comes Sasaki. It's Sasaki. He's going to take his maiden win. He's going to do it. Schultz has got nothing on the run to the line this time round as they're finishing. And it's Sasaki who takes it from Schultz. Look at this finishing pack behind. And I think Miles has got it. He's finally got the result. It's finally something's come his way this season as Miles. Amazing stuff here. It was like there was so much going on, Corey, yet there wasn't a single pass.
Well, actually, there was a single pass, Alex. I just noticed on my standings, Sam Devantia got around Nick Vaughan Roberts coming to the line to take fourth place away from him.
Oh, he did too.
Oh,
Hang on, let's just grab a quick look. You're 100% right. On the line, look side by side, even with the draw. Oh, he got it too. Look at that. Excellent work from the Cowboy to get it done. And he got that one position back in the end. Although you got to remember, he was sitting in third for a while. I thought he might, he might have done all right there. Anyway, that was that. Let's go chase. Take a look, I should say, at our final results here tonight. Hikaru Sasaki for Japan stands astride of the top step on the podium for the first time here tonight. He stuck it on pole, led from start to finish. I think he led every lap. I'm not sure he had the fastest lap, but he certainly had the fastest overall time. Congratulations to the Japanese driver. Omedetou gozaimasu. Congratulations. Well done. Seb Schultz returns to the podium for Sunday Night Lights in P2 out there tonight after a very solid drive from him. Adam Miles similarly rejoins the podium getters here on a Sunday night, finishing in thirds in a very solid drive for Miles Ahead Racing. Sam Devantia was the leading ANZ driver here for Speedy Snails. He's had good pace here. Just couldn't quite make it work in the angry pack that was, although he did get one on the line, and that one he got was Nick Vaughan Roberts, who we welcome back into the top split for Two Fools Racing and finishes with the top 5 position. Congratulations to Vaughan Roberts. Vasco Sorowski, the second ANZ driver in the field here tonight in terms of finishing orders. He's finished in 6th, a solid result for Sorowski there for Team Clowns. Martin Booker again back in the top split after his second split run last week for Fungus Turret Racing, finishes in 7th. Adrian Rodriguez, he's never short of action in his races, the Iberian for Astro Team Racing. He's finished in 8th, sans his rear wing. And Loris Amadio, the sole Italian driver for Wave Italy Racing Team, he's finished in 9th. Stefan Frista on debut recovered to finish inside the top 10. In fact, rounding out your top 10 in 10th. Brett McBurney for McFlabby Racing battling hard throughout for his 11th position. Now in a guy came off second best as we saw go through the pits through that incident in turn 1. Japanese driver though did finish inside the points in P12. Joachim Osbeck from Scandinavia down in 13th, and Wanzi Lin on debut, unfortunately, all the way down in 14th, Corey, and that's how they finished.
That's exactly right, Alex. This race turned into a massive test match, so to speak. We did have a little bit of drama towards the start of it, but everyone started getting their heads down and the bums up, and they just started really thinking tactically about how this whole race was going to unfold. We did see a couple more passes, a couple of almost opportunities, and it was just a really great race for the people who like the technical side of racing and trying to figure out, where to make passes and how to do it properly.
Yeah, absolutely correct there, Corey. Now, we've got a few folks here who'd like to come up and say hello. We'll go in finishing order. We'll start with our third place getter here tonight, Mr. Adam Miles. Mate, good to be back on the podium. Solid drive there. Were you looking forward or in the mirrors, mate? Were you trying to catch those front guys or stave off the guys behind?
I think there was a truce between myself, Nick, and Sam. Nick had plenty of opportunity in the 20 laps prior to the end to make a move into turn 1, but we were just half a tenth a lap off, I think, the pace we needed to catch them. It was sort of 3 seconds, and it was 2.8, 2.6, 2. And we got down to about 1.4 when they really started fighting on the last lap, and just arrived a couple of laps too late, I think.
Yeah, mate. Look, we sort of tracked throughout, and it did look like you were bridging the gap particularly in the sort of middle to second third of the race. or even the closing stages to some degree. And so obviously the pace was there, and as you say, a bit of a truce going on helped out. But tell us, mate, tell us a bit about the track. How have you found it? I sort of described it as having a flow to it. I mean, that all sort of builds up to that heavy braking zone at turn one, but tough to pass around here, of course, as well.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm in the I'm maybe in the minority. I actually prefer the reverse configuration because I think the overtaking opportunity into turn one is much better than the sort of reverse opportunity into that same last corner as it would be if you're going forward. So, I mean, the reverse chicane, that's the difference. That's where you can make, a quick guy versus a slower guy is 2-3 tenths just in that chicane alone. So, if you can do it 27 times in a row, you'll be on the podium. But if you can't, you'll be in the wall.
Yeah, no, it takes one time to put it at the wall very easily. I agree, and it's remarkable. I mean, I know I spent a lot of time trying to get that chicane right, and I felt confident until I saw the guys driving away from me in the midweek, actually. So, yeah, look, you're right. It's a challenging layout here. Either way you want to run it, but certainly you did well in taking it on tonight, mate. So congratulations on your podium there in P3. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Yourselves, as always, for the broadcast. As I say, it's always a Monday, sorry, a Sunday afternoon watch for me with my dinner. And to Nick and to Sam, I mean, they drove a smart race. I mean, we could easily have finished P12, P13, P14 if we'd been silly, but third, fourth, fifth's a good result for us all, I think.
Yeah, 100%, mate. And it's good to rub shoulders with some of the greats going around at the moment. And if you can come out on the better side of it, all the better indeed. So, congratulations again on the P3 tonight, mate. We look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Yep, likewise. Thanks a lot.
Corey Adam Miles, community rep for the Skip Barber community on the iRacing service as well, doing a great job. Weekly wraps. He started up a new thread there with all sorts of statistics, and I love me statistics, and he's got plenty of them. So that's plus in my book. The new season schedule is sorted. He's taken care of everything, and he took care of business here tonight on the track and grabbed himself a nice podium to boot.
Absolutely, Alex. And about time he had some bloody luck. Great to see him up on the podium after having so much drama, so much heartbreak throughout the rest of the season. And I hope we continue seeing Adam as the season progresses because he's definitely one of the nice guys of the sport, and we should be more than anything indebted to him for what he puts into the Skippy community, as much as how he drives on the track.
Yeah, exactly. And if he's enjoying it, and hopefully having a smile on his face after a Sunday race, and then all the better as well. All right, so moving on to next in the room, and next, of course, in the finishing order. Here he is. You've been waiting for him. The cowboy is in here. He's been out on his steel horse, and he's come in fourth tonight, mate. Tell us about it.
It's been alright. It's been alright. Apologize in advance. I sound grumpy, but I'm not grumpy. Yeah, in me, my voice, I'm grumpy, but inside me, I'm not grumpy. But yeah, it was a bit boring, honestly. I had no pace, to be honest with you. Me and Adam worked together, and then I let Nick Vaughan Roberts by, and he, but I should give him a shout out. He let me by the end of the finish there. But yeah, it's once we lost the front two, we just couldn't catch them until yeah. I don't know. This race felt forever, to be honest. It felt really long. 27 laps and just feels like forever.
Yeah, mate. Look, it was interesting. Adam Miles talked about a truce in that pack as he tried to chase down the front guys, but that does make the laps tick by all that bit slower. But yeah, look, I don't know about not having any pace. I think you guys had the pace. It's just so challenging to bridge that gap once it opens up, and that early racing that we're seeing some of at the moment, where it's 2 by 2, and that builds the gap to the guys in front, and then costs you the opportunity to win down the track ultimately. But look, hopefully we'll get the racing more to your suiting next week. We're off to the Hungaroring. I know it's quite tough to pass there too, but hopefully you'll have more fun out there at least anyway, mate. But before we let you go, anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
You guys obviously they do the broadcast every week. Hopefully put a good show on every week, so that's what we do. I am a Skippy League. I do Sunday night Skippy. SNS, I think is short. We have Leo, which Alex McKellar will know the Leo I'm talking about. I do that on a Monday morning about 11 a.m. my time, but it's the same. We follow the official Skippy week schedule. Good group of guys, and yeah, good fun.
Yeah, absolutely. The Sunday Night Skippy guys over on Cavik Racing, I think the channel is.
Yep.
You can check them out as well. They do a good job over there, and it's a good group of guys. And the pace is on up front with your good self, Leo, and a couple of the strong US drivers. Of course, not many of them can join us here on a Sunday night local time. So they get their racing on a Sunday night their time. So good luck to them, and good luck to you in that one tomorrow, mate.
Thank you very much.
There you go, Corey Sandavantia, the cowboy himself. He didn't quite get the steel horse up near the front, but he got it close enough. P4, nothing to sneeze at.
Absolutely, Alex, and he didn't lose any I rating as well. He managed to gain a little bit. I think he gained about 12 I rating for that race. So his ever growing total of I rating definitely getting that little bit larger day by day. And as much as he showed disdain for the track earlier on when we were talking to him before that race, I reckon he's going to go all right there.
Yeah, potentially. He took a hit earlier tonight, actually. He dumped about 150, I think it was, in a race earlier tonight. So he's clawing his way back, and every point counts from that perspective. But we'll move on. We've got one more driver joining us here tonight. It's the head clown himself, Vasco Sorofsky. Mate, you're in the front pack there, all the pack charging down the leaders. How was the racing out there for you?
Oh, evening, boys. That was good fun. Everyone there's quick, as you know, Alex. And I just couldn't get the run on them onto the straight every time. So, yeah, we did okay. We didn't crash. We didn't do any cartwheels. We didn't lose a front wing. So we'll take it. We'll take it.
Mate.
I was hoping for better.
Yeah.
So we're hoping for better, but today's the day. So yeah.
Well, mate, I'm looking in the early laps there at all the cars in front of you. There's plenty of it in the onboard shot, but not as many at the end there. So that's a positive night, right? You're up a couple, got some I rating, got some good points. No doubt you've got me a few more points, or got yourself a few more points ahead of me in the overall standings, mate. But we'll work on that next week, I reckon.
Yes,
but
100%.
and it's great to see the plaid clown pants on each and every week, mate. It's the racing suit's looking awesome.
You've got to have it, mate. It's the fashion these days.
That's what I hear. At least with all the clowns, eh? Yeah.
That's it. Compulsory.
Exactly.
No.
All right, mate. So, look, great to see you out there again. Solid result there in P6. Good points on offer as well. So, congratulations. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to, mate?
This week's a little bit different. Big shout out to my dad. And I miss you, mate. So, all good. Wish I could have done better. Thanks, guys. Thanks for everything.
Yeah.
We're all good. And we'll catch up, and we're going to fix that 10-4 up, Alex.
Yeah, something like that. Well, mate, thoughts are with you and your family, mate. I hope it goes well as
thanks,
to be
buddy.
expected, and we'll look forward to putting a smile in the eye hopefully a bit next week.
100%. No, always. You guys always do well, mate. So that's why I'm here. So thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Okay?
Thanks, Vasco. Talk to you soon,
Thanks,
mate.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, Corey Vasco joining us on a very tough day. We do appreciate the support of Vasco and all the drivers here on a Sunday night. But as I said, our thoughts go out to Vasco and his family. Obviously a tough weekend for him. And hopefully he got a little bit of relief out there on track tonight.
I hope so, Alex. My thoughts with you as well, Basco, mate. Great bloke. Not many people would come out and race virtual race cars around a track on a Sunday night, given the weekend he's had. But he's an awesome bloke, honestly. Great to see him out on track. Great result as well. With getting, what was it, P6 for him in the end? I think it was. Yeah, it was. So he's always out there. He's always racing. Even when times are tough, he's gone out and he's done the business, and good on him.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't be a nicer bloke out there, and hopefully better things for him in the weeks ahead. But folks, on that note, we might call it a night. A massive night of racing out here. Of course, a 5400 strength of field doesn't come along every day. And our winner, Hikaru Sasaki, he didn't come on. I was hoping he'd come on. We'd have a bit of a chance to talk to the man on his debut win. But congratulations nonetheless to Sasaki-san. おめでとうございます。ご苦労様でした. Well done. And hopefully, there's a new challenge for the title in Sasaki-san. I said when he joined us that I'd seen him around and he had some pace and he was certainly one to watch. And tonight he showed it at probably the most technical track we've seen so far. He put it all on the line and came away with a win. But that, folks, might just about do us. Corey, do you want to let folks at home know what you got coming up this week?
So this week in the Output Racing League, we're going to be going to the Lady in Black Darlington Raceway for 100 laps. This event is sponsored by Gladiator. So it's going to be over on my Aussie Sim Commentator channel, twitch.tv/Aussie_Sim_commentator. And if you guys would like to know more about the Output Racing League, go to outputracing.com. There's a driver's listing and all that. You're a person who loves stats, Alex. We have a driver's stats page, which you would absolutely love. And, it's a great bunch of guys. They have put on some great racing, almost never have a caution. And when they do, it's usually pretty big and pretty dramatic, which is always fun to see, especially from a commentating standpoint. On Sunday night, we're back here again for the Hungaro Ring, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Honestly, I love it when we go to the GP tracks, and then you guys might see me over on my personal channel doing a couple of random streams throughout the week. Been really starting to get into Valorant, which is taking up a little bit of my time, but it's just that little bit of fun and something a little bit different, Alex.
Nothing like variety being the spice of life, as they say, mate. So everything Top Split is on your screen at the moment. Check us out in the Top Split Discord community, which is where all the latest and greatest SNL news and views goes on. The Top Split YouTube is where you find this and all the other race replays of the 27 seasons of Monday and Sunday Night Lights. And of course, Top Split TV on Twitch is where you'll find us each and every Sunday night, same bat time, same bat channel, for the greatest Skippy action in town, that of Sunday Night Lights. But for now, folks, and on behalf of the chaotic one himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser, I'm Alex McKellar, and thank you for joining us both on track and off. The support of the community makes this what it is, and it is the best action you will see on Sunday or anywhere else in the skips. It's fantastic. So thank you, everyone, and until next time, ciao for now.